Welcome back to my channel. I am your favorite mother of 3 bougie vintage, and today's video is a get ready with me, but also a P-Valley recap. Y'all better sit y'all asses down because it's time for P-Valley. Ooh, girl. Episode 1. Let's get into this. When I do a P-Valley recap, I'm gonna choose a makeup look that I saw on the episode and recreate it. I was originally gonna do Mercedes, but then Keyshawn popped up on my screen and I was like, Keyshawn, Keyshawn. So let me just prime quickly. I already have some primer on, but let me prime my eyes. This episode starts out by basically introducing us to what was formerly known as Pink is now called Pussyland. Now, this is because they started to incorporate the, of course, pandemic into the show, which we saw a lot of shows did that the last few years. They incorporated the pandemic because it did affect the real life filming of the show, so I guess that's why they decided to include it. I'm personally not a fan of when shows are including the pandemic into the production of the show because it's like, oh my god, we can't escape the pandemic even on TV, but it's whatever. I think they did a good job of incorporating it, and they didn't do too much where like masks and stuff were concerned. They included the mask, but it wasn't like in every scene. So basically what they did with the Pink or Pussyland was get into like a car wash drive-through that you basically as a man or woman, whoever you are, can drive through and get a show. You pay your fee and then you drive through this little tunnel basically where all the dancers are, and you get a car wash and some wings and whatever. So just like the last season, it was ass and titties everywhere, okay? It was ass and titties all over the place. One thing about P-Valley is it is definitely R-rated. For the most part, or at least 18 plus, child. I don't know what the rating is for the show, but you cannot sit there and watch this with your children in the room, okay? But I loved the concept. I loved the fact that it was a drive-through now. I thought it was really interesting and different. So we see Mercedes doing her thing. She looks thebomb.com, and she's on like this carousel horse thing, and she is working the pole, girl. She is absolutely working the freaking pole. And then the man that was in the car, well, he was getting his Donald Klein on, girl. He was whacking off in the car. He made a mess all over his dashboard. It was absolutely disgusting. So Uncle Clifford gave him some Lysol disinfectant or some Clorox wipes, as well as some wings to go. I don't know where they're cooking the food. Must be on a barbecue somewhere because they don't have a kitchen. Well, it doesn't look like they have a kitchen in this little drive-thru. One thing I love about P-Valley is the soundtrack. Between P-Valley and freaking, what is this darkness, honey? Between P-Valley and Insecure, these shows have like the best soundtracks. And before I continue, I must ask you guys, am I the only one that wants Jocelyn to get a role on P-Valley? I feel like Jocelyn would, especially since she has the cabaret, I feel like she would be the bomb on P-Valley. They need to put my sis into some acting, okay? I wanna ride, I wanna ride. So in this next scene, of course, Mercedes is still feeling some type of way about how she is tired of dancing, but she's basically stuck in this position because if you watch last season, you know her mama done stole her money and her spot for the church. For the church, girls. So based on that, Mercedes is stuck dancing, and we all know it's always her last damn dance. Her shoulder is still injured, but she is still working the pole like she's not in pain. So since Autumn bought the club last season, she's pretty much an owner now, and she's in charge of the money, basically how Clifford used to be in charge of the money. And though Clifford is part owner, Autumn is definitely calling all the shots, or majority of the shots. So she sent everybody their money via Cash App or whatever, and Mercedes' account was in the negative. And Mercedes like, are you sure you paid me? And she's like, yeah. But she was negative $120. And like, Mercedes should be top paid because she is the one that is doing the bulk of the work, which is why she's also upset. This is pissing me off. So Mercedes starts to cuss because she feels like she should be top paid, and she's not wrong. She said that the men, they come for the Mercedes experience every single night, and everybody is eating off of her, but she's not eating off of her because her account is in the minus. Of course, the other girls are not trying to hear that, and Mercedes and Toy basically start being very confrontational with one another. And personally, I wanted to see them fight. But they did not fight, so I was sat there disappointed. During the argument with Toy and Mercedes, TV started playing Lil Murda's music video that was featuring Keyshawn, and pretty much everybody rushes over to the TV. But of course, Clifford ends up being in his feelings because of what happened between him and Lil Murda last season. He was not having none of that. He shut that down immediately, okay? He said, we are not going to be playing no Lil Murda up in here. He's mad at Lil Murda, but he's also mad at Keyshawn. He's mad at Keyshawn because he said that she forgot Uncle Clifford's rule number 45.2, which is leave your baby daddy drama at home, especially if he's white. Girl, I said, why is Uncle Clifford reading me right now? I felt very attacked. Very, very attacked. Uncle Clifford then checks Jupiter because she had a baby, and he's making sure that she's not gonna bring her baby daddy drama to the club, and she says she don't even know who her baby daddy is. I was like, oh my god. Only in a perfect world. Only in a perfect freaking world. Okay, cut crease. So in the next scene, we are in the office, and it's Big L, Clifford, and Autumn. And I will also be calling Autumn Haley, Haley Autumn. If you don't watch the show, that is the same person. So they're basically looking at the bills and stuff, and they realize that their relief loan was denied again. Whoever's in charge of handing out the relief loans are saying that the strip club is not non-essential, and obviously they beg to differ. The men are coming to relieve their stress every night, so it's definitely giving non-essential teas, but you know, the powers that be don't agree, so they're not being approved for the relief loan, and their money is running out. So now, when Autumn finds out that there's only $25,000 left from the money that she bought the club with, which was $250,000, she gets extremely pissed off, and she accuses Clifford of buying too many Birkin bags with the money that she gave him for the club. So obviously Clifford feels like Autumn is power tripping, and so does Big L. And they kindly remind her that she paid a very small price for what they did for her, which was hide a body or get rid of a body. That being said, Autumn still found a way to be all up in Uncle Clifford's face, like she wanted to wax the beard off of him. Like, I did not understand why she thought she could step to Uncle Clifford like that. I mean, I like me some Autumn, but Uncle Clifford is definitely my fave. So Autumn better watch her damn back, because if I see her in the street, it's on sight. So in the next scene, we're back outside, and on the news, they're announcing that the lockdown is going to end. But they also announced that the mayor of Chucalissa is dead. He died from COVID complications, and Clifford and Autumn are then kind of worried about what that might mean for the casino and how that's going to affect everybody in the long run. In the next scene, we see Andre's woman. She is in their basement taking a bath. She's a nurse. So basically what they did was write into the script that because she works at the hospital, she can't really stay on the main floor of their house, so she's been staying in the basement. Her face is all bruised up and like kind of gross from wearing a mask for so many hours of the day because she works at the hospital. He's supposed to keep her fridge stocked, but you know these niggas, they lazy. They got one job and they can't even do that. So he's at home all day playing damn video games. He's not checking his phone for nothing. So he doesn't know that his godfather, the mayor, is dead. His wife comes upstairs and she's complaining that she doesn't have any almond milk in the basement fridge. And then she goes to his phone to like inspect why he hasn't checked it. And she's telling him about text messages that he has there, and she sees a text message from Haley. She said to him, "Who's Haley?" He snatched that phone so fast from her. Her nail damn near almost broke. Okay, like that's how fast he snatched it from her. I was like, ooh. The truth is gonna come out, girl. He didn't answer her question, and then she's looking like, what is that about? Because she don't know no Haley, and Haley is texting her husband and telling him, or sending her condolences about his godfather. So not only does she know her husband, but she also knows the mayor is his godfather. So she has valid reason to be concerned. Andre wants to pay his respects to his godfather, but because of COVID, him and his wife end up having a slight disagreement about him going to the funeral, but obviously he has to go. So, you know, she sucks it up, especially because she's doing her part in staying in the basement to avoid getting him sick. Now, in the next scene, we are with Lil Murda, and I hate how attracted I am to him. I don't know why he is so damn fine to me. Oh my god, it's actually disturbing. Anyway, he's over there in the kitchen banging on some pots and pans like he damn Travis Barker, and his engineer is there as well, and they're basically cooking up some heat in the kitchen, girl. So then Lil Murda checks his phone, and he sends Clifford another text message. He's been texting him for the last 5 months, and Clifford is paying him dust, okay? Like absolute dust. So then the engineer starts asking Lil Murda about if he's talked to Uncle Clifford, and Lil Murda almost gave himself away, okay? He almost gave himself away that he is on the DL because of the way he snapped at the engineer when he asked that. And the engineer was like, what the hell? But he didn't catch on. He was really only asking him if he spoke to Clifford because the club is opening back up next week. But Lil Murda is in his feelings, so he snapped at him. And then he was like, he's too swole for the pink. So then he heads to his porch because somebody knocks at the door because he's basically in a trap house. And then there's this car that starts to pull up like it's finna do a drive-by. So Lil Murda starts reaching behind him, you know, stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready. The guy that's in the passenger seat basically is shouting out Lil Murda and asking him when they can expect some new music. But the guy that was sitting in the back of the car, oh, the energy was off, baby. He was not giving the same energy the guy in the passenger seat was giving. Lil Murda recognizes that, and so he's looking at him like, that man looks familiar. What's going on there? But they just drive off. Now, in the next scene, Mercedes is loud AF. Okay, she is loud as hell, and Autumn, since they now kind of live together, Autumn is trying to do everything to drown out the sound of Mercedes beating her kitty up, okay? So once Mercedes gets done, you know, has her shower, she comes out and they're in the kitchen. Autumn wanted to talk to Mercedes. I guess she was waiting for her to have breakfast, but Mercedes just started to get up to leave the house. And so Autumn was like, you're not gonna have breakfast? And Mercedes was like, I had Henny, a blunt, and a nut. I don't need nothing else. And I was like, that is the breakfast of champions right there. That is the breakfast of champions, girl. Now, what Autumn wanted to talk to Mercedes about was that upon the reopening of the Pink, she is going to be negotiating a door fee for Mercedes. And of course, Mercedes is not satisfied with this because she feels like she's carrying the club on her back. She does not want a door fee. She wants way more than that. That's all she can get her right now. And in order to cut some of Mercedes' workload, Autumn says that she wants to audition some new girls for the club. Mercedes was very much opposed to this. She doesn't want any new blood in there. And she let that be very clear. And she told her not to worry about anything like that, and gave her clear instructions on not auditioning new girls for the club. So in this next scene, we see Keyshawn and Derek, her baby daddy. They are arguing about money because Keyshawn is basically doing OnlyFans right now. And because she's doing OnlyFans, she's working a lot and she's bringing in a lot of money, and her man is obviously jealous. Go figure. Basically, he wants to work and bring in some money too. I guess he doesn't want to be depending on her, but what choice does he have if she's bringing in hundreds of thousands a day or thousands a day, and he What he gonna do? Just be a stay-at-home dad, sir. just be a stay-at-home dad, because 1 hour of work for her at that point is pretty much a whole month's work for him. Probably less. Probably way less, you know? So in this next scene, we see that Mercedes is having a Zoom call with all of her dancers, her students that she was trying to open up her dance studio for. And they basically all tell her that because of the pandemic, their moms either can't afford the dance classes, they basically have to wait until the pandemic is over before they can attend again. And it was the majority of her students that basically were telling her they ain't gonna have no money for her come next week. So in the next scene, Uncle Clifford and Big L are in the pink, and they're basically looking at their renovations. Autumn kind of sneaks up on them and scares the living hell out of them because they know what they did last summer. And so because there was a blood stain on the wall, they're all looking at it, and Autumn tells them they need to paint the walls red because blood always bleeds through. He was supposed to use peroxide, but he used bleach, and Autumn said neither was gonna work. They have to paint the walls red. So then we head over to the funeral home, and Lil Murda is looking for Wody. And Wody is asleep in a coffin. So he pops out of the coffin like damn Dracula. And he almost got his head blown off by Murda because Murda got scared when he was coming out of the coffin. Like, why are you taking a nap in a freaking casket? Please, sir. So Murda is telling Wody that he wants to go on tour. And Wody is like, you need Keyshawn to go on tour. You cannot go on tour by yourself. Obviously, Murda does not want to hear that. He basically tells him, like, you need her. So you could try, but I don't think you're going to get her because she's making so much money on lives right now, or OnlyFans, whatever she's doing. They weren't calling it OnlyFans. I'm calling it OnlyFans. But yeah, they said she's making so much money doing that it wouldn't even make sense for her to go on tour. They also brought up the fact that her baby daddy is white, and they both sounded very much appalled by this. Murda goes into another room and he calls Keyshawn, and he basically is telling her he wants to go on tour. But just as Wody suspected, Keyshawn has been making a lot of money, and a tour really wouldn't be worth it for her right now. When Keyshawn gets off the phone with Murda, she ends up taking some of the diapers, fresh diapers, and throwing them or hiding them in the bottom of the diaper genie. I had a feeling it was because she wants to either escape her house because her baby daddy got her locked up in there, or she's trying to make a reason to leave the house. So if you run out of diapers, obviously you need to leave the house. In the next scene, Andre goes ahead to Mississippi to pay his respects to his godfather. While he was in town, Autumn pops up on him, which was alarming to him. But she pops up on him, and he told her that he thought that if he ever saw her again, he would slap her. And I'm like, oh my. They both talk about possibly killing each other or not killing each other. And she explains to him what it's like to grieve because he obviously just lost somebody close to him. She explains what she has gone through in her grieving process. And then she makes a very powerful statement before she leaves, which was, funerals ain't for the dead, they're for the living, which is true. The dead already got their closure when they left the earth, baby. Anyway, in the next scene, we're at the funeral, and his going home was all green, like this neon or lime green color. Everybody was wearing green. And the mayor's body arrived in an all gold hearse, and I said, he is leaving in style. Okay, it's giving Aretha Franklin style, baby. His casket was actually really beautiful. And Andre ends up being one of the pallbearers because they needed an extra one, and his youngest son was one. So obviously a 1-year-old cannot carry a casket. Keyshawn's plan ended up working, finally able to leave the house and go to the dollar store so that she could get some diapers and I think she said moon pies. And in this scene, we actually see Gidget. Her mom died, so she ended up leaving Mississippi and going back home. So she's FaceTiming Keyshawn as Keyshawn's pulling up to the dollar store. But when she gets to the dollar store, she sees Diamond outside, and she hasn't seen Diamond since the night at the Pink when she pulled the gun on him when he was gonna kill her baby daddy in the bathroom. Because she doesn't have a mask on and Diamond was manning the dollar store door, he basically denies her entry and tells her she can't go inside. And I was looking at him like, why is he so damn fine? He is so damn fine. Like, Miracle is so damn lucky. That man looks good, girl. Anyway, she's trying to apologize, but like, how do you apologize to somebody after you pull a gun on them? How? Girl, what? How do you try to apologize to a man you didn't pull the gun on when he had valid reason to want to beat your baby daddy up? So as she's trying to apologize, he's obviously not trying to hear it. So Diamond is basically telling her, like, you need to get out of here and go back to your redneck baby daddy. He then tells her that her redneck baby daddy called him a gutter, and she tries to defend the baby daddy in that moment and says he would never say that. And Diamond was like, yes, he would. Yes, he did. And that's why I was trying to kill him in the bathroom that night. But she thought that he was basically doing that because Diamond had seen him put his hands on Keyshawn, but that's not why he attacked him. That's what fueled the altercation or the confrontation. But then her baby daddy took it way too damn far, calling him and the people that she hangs out with gutter. Like, what is that? I never even heard this term before. What is that? Before she leaves, she tries to give him the crystal that she had on her necklace, but he tells her he has no use for something that does not work. So Clifford's mama wanted some chitlins from the funeral. So Uncle Clifford put on his Sunday funeral best, okay? When I say his green outfit was it, oh my goodness, he was not playing. So he goes to the house to pick up the chitlins for his mom. And while he's there, he sees obviously Andre on the front porch. And shortly after that, the mayor, Kyle, the white guy, he arrives and they have a small conversation, and Clifford actually tells Mayor Kyle that he might be running for mayor. The conversation between Clifford and the mayor, as well as the conversation between the mayor and Andre, it didn't go well. Nobody is in favor of Mayor Kyle. So we'll see what happens later on in the season where he's concerned. Later that evening, the doorbell rings and Andre answers it because he thought it was the people that had just left the house. He thought that they forgot something. It was actually the biracial brother basically dropping off a retainer fee for Andre because of the mayor dying and what might or might not happen with the casino. He dropped off a retainer fee as basically a just in case. So he left a few stacks on the doorstep and went about his business. So now we're pretty much at the end of the episode and we're back to Mercedes, Autumn at their house, and they start to argue because despite Mercedes' stance and clear instructions on not having any auditions, Autumn went ahead and had auditions anyway, and so Mercedes is extremely upset. Autumn seems to have this tone about her now that she bought the club, and so Mercedes starts talking like a slave. And as she's going to bed, she starts singing Wade in the Water. And I'm like, this is too much. This is very, very, very dramatic. So the final scene of the night, we see Lil Murda getting a text message from Keyshawn, basically agreeing to go on tour. She says she wants to do 12 cities, 12 nights, and get this money. Lil Murda is obviously very happy. They start playing the song that him and the engineer were making in the beginning, and that was pretty much the end of the episode. I enjoyed this first episode. I can't wait till next week. Next week I'll try to be a little quicker with my upload. But you cannot rush greatness. You can't. I am totally prepared for a whole lot of drama. I can't wait to see what kind of drama Mercedes' mom is gonna bring this season, if any. And next week, when the pink is open for business again, I'm sure there's going to be lots of drama. Maybe Gidget will come back. I'm hoping we get to see more Diamond. It's always to see. I can't wait to see Miracle Watts' character on the show. I think we're in for a really, really good season. I'm here for it. All the products that I'm using are gonna be in the description box. We didn't get any like super duper close-ups on the makeup, so I'm just going off of a kinda sorta. And I think I need one right in the inner corner here. Like, I keep dropping these damn gems. At this point, I have a bedazzled coochie. Like, what is happening?
You look beautiful.
Thank you, Salem.
I like your makeup.
Thank you very much. Why would Nola be up here? Isn't she with you guys in the basement?
No.
Where is she?
Nola's sleeping.
No.
I'm gonna tell them that I can know.
Sit.
I'm gonna tell them that I can spell my name. SALEM.
See you later.
And that's how I spell my name.
You're too loud, baby. This is Sephora Cream Lip Stain in 77. And then I used Stunna Paint in Unveil. And this is Oyster Girl. No, this is Brooklyn Born. So I will see you guys next week for P-Valley episode 2. I love you all so much, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.